Professor, are you back from your trip in Hong Kong, or are you just being,
back from Hong Kong,
super racist?
You should see the scars on my back. I've been beaten to a pulp, and
no, you're just messing with me. You just went to the community college down the road. But in any event, Hong Kong is a very real international crisis, which I really do think is, I would say, the most important story of the year. I would, impeachment, the media makes it sound like things like impeachment and AOC are important. They're not. They really are just not important whatsoever.
No, those are fake problems.
Hong
Kong's a real problem.
Yes. And for those of you who do not know, I'll do my best to explain. For several decades, I believe 70 years, Hong Kong has had this special system within China. There's this policy of two systems, one country. It's part of China, but it's its own system. It has its own rules. They're basically a democracy. They vote and they have freedom, and it's great. However, due to certain legal cases that had happened, effectively, the Hong Kong leadership is not really in a good position to maintain those freedom and maintain those rights. And China, being the ever-devouring monster of the East, is just waiting to gobble up. Now, the good news is that people are resisting. Thousands of people are gathering every weekend to protest.
Carrying the American flag, I would like
to singing. They're singing songs. They are celebrating
the Star Spangled Banana.
So that's basically an encapsulation of what's going on. Now, aside from the fact that the mainstream media is, poo-pooing this as, oh, this is just an issue over here, we don't really care. That's already egregious enough. What really is egregious is that you don't see a big standing of Americans standing up to China. Again, all the alleged human rights activists within the U.S., there really should not be any human rights activists in the U.S. They are so much more needed elsewhere. Like, if you got every human rights activist in America, took them to Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, North Korea, things might be better for everybody. But just saying.
Yeah.
That really is the humanitarian crisis of our time. And just recently, I don't know if you're aware, but Chinese guards actually shot live ammunition to a crowd, injuring one person. I believe some person died previously, but one person got hospitalized because of it. And there's actually footage of the police planting a crowbar on the person so they could claim they did in self-defense. But you can see them putting the crowbar on the kid's body. I mean, we're talking evil, vile scumbags.
No. Hundreds have been killed. Hundreds have been arrested and secreted away in paneled trucks, never to be seen again. What's your take, though? I mean, you've been following this much more than I have, so we're going to defer to you. But what's your take? I mean, the Governor General, the woman who's the Governor General of Hong Kong right now, do you think she's going to last, or is the mainland China going to yank her and take her away and remove her and do a coup d'etat? By the way, if you didn't know this, mainland China actually controls the electoral process for the Governor General of Hong Kong.
Well, basically,
so don't think it's a democracy. It's really not a democracy.
No, but at the same time, the people can have free speech, they can vote, they can express ideas, which is really the bedrock of democracy.
They can't carry guns, though. There's no Second Amendment.
No, but they have, I mean, compared to mainland China, they have way more freedom.
They do.
Immeasurably more freedom.
Well, do you think she's going to last, or what?
Well, I mean, she is between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, literally.
Obviously, if she doesn't do the people have spoken. It is beyond doubt the Hong Kong people want to stay separate from mainland China.
Yeah.
Really, what it looks. I mean, China has the guns, and that's really where force is. What's where power comes from. Here in the U.S., we can talk Constitution all we want. In the rest of the world, who has the guns? Yep. China has the guns. They can steamroll into Hong Kong tomorrow, and that's the end of that. Literally, their only hope is if the United States wants to get involved. And to a certain degree, the United States is involved because, well, we have lots of terrorists in China. And to a certain degree, I think the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, is fully aware that if they do something egregiously violent, like kill a lot of people, openly, like they start shooting, if they keep shooting into crowds with live ammunition,
Yeah.
then Trump is going to have an excuse to ramp up his tariffs, to ramp up, and I had one friend recommend Trump should embargo the whole place. Now, obviously that will not happen, especially since it's so close to re-election.
Right.
But China has a real power, and it's not going to be played out physically against the U.S. It will be played out economically. Well, here's an example. You may have heard of the National Basketball Association. There's this one coach who worked for this. I believe he worked for the Rockets, something like that. Tweeted out, "Stand for freedom, stand with Hong Kong." Something along those lines. One tweet, like 6 words.
Right.
He has, as of now, deleted the tweet because the Chinese government has said they are insulted that he does not understand the complexity of this issue. And so not only has he apologized and groveled at the entire NBA said, "Oh, we are so sorry. We do not understand we respect China's long culture and history." Yeah, of oppression and imprisonment and censoring its people, that's what you respect. So because of this, China has effectively cost the NBA $1 billion for one tweet. One tweet. I mean, that's incredible power right there.
The tweet.
But I mean, everyone in the NBA is far left. It just shows how spineless these people are. That they're willing to. I believe they left a certain state. I think it was South Carolina or North Carolina for their bathroom bill. Totally, had nothing to do with it. Didn't play some game down in the whole state because of the bathroom bill, because they were standing in solidarity with LGBT. But now, all of a sudden, when it comes to some oppressive, actually evil regime, not like South Carolina, like China,
right?
They, apparently corporate greed means a lot more to them than all their fancy dandy talk.
Well, when you're asked to stand up for bathrooms or money in your pocket, what a corporation is going to do? Are they going to go with the bathrooms, or they're going to go with their bottom line corporately? We know what the answer to that question is.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I can't stand all this false prostration, or whatever the word is, of these corporations to act as though they're moral, that we should be moral. No, they don't care.
Wrap themselves in righteous indignation.
They just want to wrap themselves in righteous indignation and then not actually take a stand where it hurts. So it's pathetic. But that just shows the economic power of China and what they're doing to it. That actually matters. I mean, millions of people.
We want to see what Trump does, because he's now pulled us out of Syria, and I support that, by the way, even though it's a tough.
We'll definitely talk more about that in a bit.
We want to talk about Syria next, but let's see what if Trump uses the economic bully pulpit with respect to China to help the Democrat people in Hong Kong. Anyway, good analysis, Alex. Thank you as much.
Hey, you're welcome.
Make sure to visit Alex's video channel.
YouTube channel. It's called a YouTube channel. What is this? 1994.
Video. I'm a geezer. What do you want? And I'm drinking. So
I don't know. 50 years younger.
Goodbye, Alex.